You know that person who keeps saying they are just private? The one who turns their phone over when you walk in? Minimizes the window a little too fast? Answers simple questions like they are choosing words in court? Yeah, that person may not be protecting privacy. They may be protecting a version of themselves you are not allowed to meet. And if you have ever felt crazy for noticing that, welcome. You are about to feel very seen. If this sounds familiar, stay with me and subscribe if this helps you name something you have been carrying. This is what we do here. We name the quiet things people keep pretending are normal. Here is the difference most people miss. Privacy is healthy. Secrecy is different. Privacy says, I am still a whole person inside this relationship. Secrecy says, do not look too closely at where my attention is going. Privacy protects a self. Secrecy protects a lie, a half-truth, or a comfort someone does not want interrupted. By the end of this, you will know which kind of hiddenness you are dealing with. That is why hiddenness hurts before proof arrives. Your body does not wait for a screenshot. It notices the pause before they answer. The phone face down at dinner. The deleted thread that somehow was not important. The little flinch when you ask who that was. What do you even do with a flinch? You cannot frame it. You cannot show it to a friend. You can only feel the room change. Why does it bother you so much if there is no proof? How can a phone on a table make the whole kitchen feel different? Why does the couch feel colder when they are sitting right beside you? Here is the thing. Attachment does not measure love by labels, it measures access. Psychologists call this attachment style and partner responsiveness. Can I reach you? Will you answer honestly? Do you move closer when something feels unsafe? Or do you make me feel ashamed for noticing? When someone hides the parts of their life that affect the bond, your nervous system stops relaxing around them. Not because you are dramatic, because safety needs enough truth to breathe. But here's where it gets stranger. The first kind of hiddenness is the soft lie. This is the one that sounds technically true. Nothing happened. We are just friends. I did not think it mattered. I forgot to tell you. And maybe each sentence can survive by itself. But together, they build a second version of reality. You are living in the edited version. They are living in the full version. That gap is where trust starts leaking. And the strangest part is that the leak often starts in ordinary moments. The coffee cup beside the sink, the home screen they tilt away from you, the bedroom silence under the same blanket, the 2 a.m. glow from a phone they said they were not checking. Real talk. Lying by omission can hurt more than a direct lie because it makes you participate in your own confusion. You keep responding to the story they gave you. Then new details appear later and rewrite the whole scene. The coworker was not just a coworker. The late-night call was not random. The Instagram thread was not casual. The group chat had a private side door. And suddenly, your memory becomes a detective board. What else was edited before it reached you? What did you agree to when you did not have the whole story? The second kind is the private audience. This is when someone else gets access that used to belong inside the relationship. They know the jokes first. They know the stress first. They get the little voice note version of your partner before you get the tired leftovers. You still share rent, groceries, calendars, and errands. But someone else gets the spark. And that is why it feels like betrayal even if nobody touched anybody. Intimacy is not only physical, it is information, attention, timing, softness, and who gets the real story. Here's the weird part. You may not be jealous of the person. You may be grieving the access. Who gets their laugh before it becomes a sigh at home? Who gets the update before you get the summary? Who gets the version of them that still feels open? And let's be honest, society tells us this should be easy to talk about. TikTok says, do not be insecure. Dating apps say, keep your options open. The group chat says, everyone deserves privacy. And yes, they do. But privacy without honesty becomes a locked room inside the relationship. You are expected to live beside it and call that trust. That is not trust. That is performing chill while your body is asking for clarity. But it gets worse when the hiding partner starts using therapy language as a shield. They say boundaries when they mean do not ask. They say trust when they mean stop noticing. They say privacy when they mean I want the benefit of closeness without the burden of honesty. Now, some people ask questions for a darker reason. Control is real. Surveillance is real. Past betrayal can make innocent privacy feel dangerous. So ask yourself this. Do you want access because you need to control them? Or because their behavior keeps making the truth feel unavailable? One is fear, the other is information. Hit subscribe if you have ever had to learn that difference the hard way. And this is the part that changes the whole video. Here is the part nobody says gently enough. You're not insecure. You're responding to a pattern. You're not needy. You're asking for the story that affects your heart. You're not controlling. You're trying to understand why honesty suddenly has so many locked doors. A healthy partner can say, I need privacy, without making you feel punished for asking. A healthy partner can explain a boundary without turning your pain into an accusation. A healthy partner cares that something feels unsafe before you have courtroom evidence. Because trust is not built by never asking questions. Trust is built when questions can enter the room and the relationship does not collapse. It is built at the kitchen counter. In the small pause before someone tells the truth. In the way they hand you clarity instead of making you beg for it. In the moment they say, I get why that hurt, instead of, you are crazy. That is repair. That is safety. Real talk. If someone loves you, your confusion should matter to them, not because they owe you every thought, because they share a life where their hidden choices can change your emotional reality. So if you are with someone who hides things from their partner, watch the pattern, not the excuse. Do they protect privacy? Or do they protect confusion? Do they move closer when you are hurt? Or do they make you feel embarrassing for asking? Do they give you enough truth to feel steady? Or just enough words to stop the conversation? What happens when you ask calmly? What happens when you say the phone thing hurt? What happens when you need reassurance at the kitchen table instead of another speech about trust? You do not need to become a detective to admit the relationship feels less like home. You do not need to call it cheating before you are allowed to ask for honesty. You are not asking for ownership. You are asking not to be loved through a locked door. Tell me this. What hurts more? The thing they hid, or the way they made you feel crazy for noticing? And the next video is about people who make you beg for reassurance, then blame you for needing it. Click it, you will understand why.